It looks like it's developing into a major turning point in the war in Ukraine. Ukrainian forces have been routing the Russians in a key sector in the east of that country where the Russians had gained ground over the past several months. They've sent them just heading for the high grass, just routing Russian troops and taking back significant territory. Russia is retaliating now with new attacks on critical infrastructure, including power grids. ABC News foreign correspondent Tom Soufi Burridge joins me live from Kyiv, Ukraine. Tom, this has just been astonishing to watch at a distance through Twitter. You're there. Well, what does it feel like there? Are people, I imagine they're very heartened by this. And what is the significance of it?
It's a huge moment, Terry. There's no doubt about that. We've just had word from Ukraine's Deputy Defense Minister now saying that Ukrainian forces have captured more than 2,000 square miles in just the past 11 days. We've just met a Ukrainian MP who gets briefed on military matters, and she's telling us that we can expect more Ukrainian victories in the coming days because the Ukrainians are pushing in the south. They're claiming today that they've cut off Russian troops to the west of the large Dnipro River near the city of Kherson, which is a key city controlled by the Russians, which the Ukrainians have been pushing to try and get. If they have cut off those troops, they say they're now negotiating a surrender with them. We're also getting reports that now Ukraine is pushing to retake and claiming they've retaken certain settlements in the eastern Donbass, places that really just a few weeks ago were captured by the Russians. And then back to the northeast, that huge breakthrough over the weekend when really Ukrainian forces smashed through the lines and captured a massive amount of territory right up there near the second biggest city, Kyiv.
And Tom, we've been looking at the map while you've been talking. It is still there's a lot of territory still under Russian control. And I'm wondering about this very large area up there, that big blue blotch right there. As Tom just told us, 5 days the Ukrainians have taken that back, and Russians have just been fleeing this very effective, skilled advance. And I want to know what you can tell us about the people who've been living there under Russian occupation. Now that they're liberated by their national government, well, what have you been seeing?
Well, the first thing to note, really, Terry, is that these people have been living under Russian occupation for months. We're seeing videos released by the Ukrainian military of people coming out and greeting them and embracing them. We're also learning that the Ukrainian authorities are digging up dead bodies in certain places, newly liberated territories. More war crimes investigations are now underway. The Ukrainians say that those will be properly investigated. And again, it looks like grim news on the face of it. And then also significantly, what we're seeing is significant amounts of military hardware captured by the Ukrainians. It looks like the Russians simply fled and they left huge numbers of tanks and massive amounts of ammunition.
I saw one wit on Twitter saying that Russia is now the leading supplier of arms to Ukraine. But let's take a breath. These are fast-moving events. Take a step back. What does this mean for the wider war? What's your understanding at this point, provisional as it might be, of what this leads to?
I think it definitely is a turning point to some extent. Momentum has now clearly swung in Ukraine's favour. And look at the timing. Look, it was only a few weeks or months ago that really heavy weaponry supplied by the United States and its allies began arriving on the front lines. And we saw the evidence that the Ukrainians were using those HIMARS rocket systems to strike targets behind enemy lines. And now the Ukrainians have the ability to go on the offensive. But, and it's a massive but, you know, Russia is a massive military power. It hasn't proved effective in this war so far, but that doesn't mean that the Russians can't regroup and try and break back in certain places. We'll have to wait and see.
It's just been amazing to watch. Tom Soufi Burridge, we're so glad you're there in Kyiv for us. This story falls off the front pages. You've been there throughout. Thanks very much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.